Pray 5. Hail Karuga.
Qapla!
I'm going to take this opportunity, however, to suggest that we all hail Karuga. That's all I'm saying.
Forgive me, Doctor. I'm receiving a number of distress calls. I don't doubt it.
Y'all remember to tip your waitresses. Have a mighty fine night.
If you come in peace, surrender or be destroyed. If you're here to make war, we surrender.
Both good. The important thing is I'm meeting new people.
When the appointed hour arrives, the Marauders will deactivate their cloaking devices and begin transporting Klingon shock troops directly to the landing zone.
Landing zone? Where? Tell me.
Why not? Your feeble weapons will be useless against us. We will kill all your males and take your females to mate with.
All right. Now the Federation's taking over, whether you like it or not. You people, you've been running this planet like a piecework factory. From now on, it's going to be under one roof. You're going to run it like a business. You're going to make a profit.
Look at these 3 words written larger than the rest, with a special pride never written before, or since. Tall words, proudly saying, "We the people."
Hi, I'm Nicole DeBoer. I played Lieutenant Ezri Dax on DS9, and I welcome you to Birdo Prey 5 channel. Hail Karuga.
Hello world, it's Birdo Prey 5 Qapla. And welcome to Bed Life for July 1st, Monday, July 1st. 2024, precisely 2.5 weeks since Flag Day. Still no true love in sight. At Homer Simpson, he rarely gets them wrong, but when he does, it's a doobie. Is that what? A doobie? Is that how you use that phrase? I don't think so, but whatever. Who cares? Well, welcome guys. It is still tough going, as you might have noticed. I had a rough weekend, and I was a bit scared, very scared this morning. Woke up in a full-on panic attack, and it cleared up a bit. As the day went on, but then. And the day kept going. I had this brilliant idea. Hey, maybe I could take a nap before I streamed, and surely I would feel way better once that happened. Nope, feel much worse. Bad decision, and I had to rush to get the stream started. So, welcome. Richie Poole first in the chat. Welcome, Richie. 47 Yorktown with 2 Canadian Maple Leafs for Canada Day. Qapla 47 Yorktown. Happy Canada Day. Richie Poole says, Birdo Prey 5, the 2nd season of Prodigy is available on Netflix as of this morning. Any chance you might review it for us? Well, Richie, there is a chance, but I'll be honest, not a good one for this week. Not a good one for this week. I have a lot of stuff going on here, and it just a lot of changes coming to my life, assuming it all goes well. Maybe soon after, maybe next week or the week following. But if all goes as hoped, this week is like the last week of not having additional help and support, and next week will be having additional help and support, and who knows what differences, if I'll have more time or less time or just difference. Things will change. That much I know. For good or bad remains to be seen. But thank you. I do look forward to checking out Prodigy season 2, whether I review it or not. I certainly want to watch it. And I did not know it had come out already. Outlaw Bill says, Qapla, brother warrior. Birdo Prey 5, and all should hail Karoga. Thank you, Outlaw Bill. Mike Richards says, greetings from Columbus, Ohio. Greetings, Mike Richards. Hope all is well in Columbus. Hakeem says, Qapla, Bird and chat. Qapla, Hakeem. Josh Street says, no sound, Bird, and puts in 3 sassy emojis. Lies, and more lies. Josh Street, I can see through your lies. They are as transparent aluminum. Yvette, the lovely Yvette, says, good evening, Bird and everyone. Good evening to the lovely Yvette. Yvette says, Josh, okay, A-okay on sound here. Of course you are, Yvette. Whereas Josh Street likes to lie about audio problems. Gets me all flustered. Random thoughts, gorillas random thoughts, not just anyone's random thoughts. A gorilla random thoughts says, Qapla, we are taking down the dikes tonight. I thought the water already did that for you, but okay. Good luck. Hope it goes well. Josh Street says, Bird, I have some fun. Have to have some fun on a hot day. I got it. I'm not penalizing you by calling you a liar. I'm just reminding myself that I do not need to take what you say seriously. And you've reached the point of the boy who cried wolf so many times now that if and when there is a serious audio problem, it's not going to be able to be reported by you. Stan Lee yells, happy Canada Day. Josh Street says, Stan, happy Upper Karoga Day. LDG at Free the Net says, not late today. Thank you, LDG. And I found out LDG has a birthday coming up later this month on a Bed Life Day. So there will be Not today, not this week, not next week, and not the week after that. But one day, someday, on a Friday, there'll be a Red Life birthday for LDG, assuming, knocking wood, that I'm still streaming. Yes, I'm afraid you can get to guess his age, 50 and higher. Mentally or physically, I guess that it's physical age. Physical age. LDG says he's not late, right? Arabic Saunders says Qapla bird. Qapla Arabic Sounder. Live long and prosper. Thank you. And LDG says bird is alive. Yeah, I was scared. I legit was scared. I still am. But you know, Arabic says hey to Yvette. Stanley says, I hate those negative naps when you either can't wake up or just feel more tired. Transitioning. I'm not transitioning, if that's what you mean. But yeah, I understand what you're saying. And these negative naps are seemingly more common than ever before. Edge of Time says greetings from the edge of time. Awesome. It checks out. Thank you, Edge of Time. LDG at Free the Net says, hey, Bird, Yvette is having a hard time hearing you. Can you put it up once? You're fine on my end. Honestly, I expected probably for people to have some issues because I am quite a distance from the microphone. I will do my best to bring it a bit closer. But I actually have it already on maximum microfication or maximum amplification, whatever. Yes, amplification. That's what it is. Stanley says, when you either can't wake up, there's no more time. Right. Yes. Okay. And, Mike Richards has sent in the dancing girls. I wish we had some. Stanley says, bad news. Salty skimmed the Prodigy show summaries. And apparently they've incorporated Wesley this season. Oh no. That is terrible. That is terrible. JP says the cake is a lie. Will the dykes be done scissoring? No, gorilla. Stanley says gorilla's random thoughts. Those dykes are always going down. 47 Yorktown says happy Canada Day, young sir. Thank you, 47 Yorktown. Happy Canada Day to you as well. And I get my strength in, I will sing Canada. It's tribute song. Oh, Canada, our home and native land. Because that's what you should do on Canada Day. We are a better neighbor. It would be Karoga borders Canada to the south. It's our largest unwalled border with Canada. Gorilla's Random Thoughts is artificial dukes that were put up to help protect downtown and grocery store. Oh, dikes, artificial dikes. But he wrote dukes. He wrote dukes that were put up to help protect downtown grocery store. We used a mixture of sandbags, dirt piles, lines, and clay bricks. So those are the dikes that are coming down. That phrase, the dikes are coming down, reminds me of these YouTube videos. There's a series of YouTube videos by this disgusting, awful, white trash piece of humanity that I had the unpleasure of knowing through a different web forum. This is going back 20 years before I'd gotten sick, when I was spending all my time, many hours on my web forum, and we were kind of engaged in some type of web forum war with another forum, and oh my God, this guy just he reeked of human trash. He was not the type of person you ever wanted to live near, to work near, and he was the worst of the worst. And he was going up on YouTube, and this is back when YouTube didn't give a shit. You know, they didn't care what you were putting up. And if you were putting up real murders, as long as they were getting clicks, they were in a happy. They would. That's when, back in the day, they would call you. Once your videos got popular, they would email you and say, "Hey, your videos are getting pretty popular. We want you to join our team, and we'll do the work. We'll monetize your video, and we'll send you money." And people were like, "Oh shit, yeah, those were the days when YouTube did the work, and you got grandfathered in to what later became the the party, or this whole system of, oh well, then you needed to get 10,000 subscribers, and all these things, so many watch hours. And no, back in these days, it was you had one or two hot viral videos, and that's all you needed. And they're like, "Yep, cha-ching, here you go." And that was how things worked. And this guy, he was the reminder to anyone who ever rented a house that you don't rent houses to people like this. And this guy, you could tell you could tell he was living in a shitty area, but he was the reason. He was the reason that his local space was having problems, and his landlord would try to come in and stop
Captain's
things.
log, stardate 7414.1. Our best estimates place
China
us
Rocky
4 hours from Earth.
with a 99-cent super sticker. Thank you, John. Anyway, this guy, he was from this other forum, and he would say the landlord cut off access to a small room that was between the guy's kitchen and outside of the house. If you went out this room, you would leave the kitchen. There would be the electric. There would be the electric circuit breaker. It would just be circuit breakers. And I say circuit breakers, but I mean circuit switches. They're not breakers anymore. They're just switches. You turn them on or off. And yeah, but it had both his unit and his neighbor's much smaller unit, both in there. And the problem was this guy was pissed at his neighbor, and he was constantly turning his neighbor's power off because he was getting mad that his neighbor was quote unquote making noise, but by making noise, meant using his legally allowed, using equipment he was legally allowed to use. And anyway, so this guy, he was like, the wall is coming down, reap and learn. And he's fucking showing off his goddamn garbage tattoos. And he starts fucking jumping across the kitchen, doing like wrestling moves, trying to tear down a physical 2x4 built reinforced wall. And eventually he does, and then he does it again and again. And the landlord keeps reinforcing the wall, making it harder and harder. And this idiot, he just starts coming up with harder and harder things to take it down with. And one part, he's just using a whole bunch of lawn equipment to rip down a wall. And it was sad, really, because then after that, it's a whole series of videos called Landlord Wars. And he's being evicted, and he's going around putting chickens, dead chickens, and other meat into the vents of the house. And they're never going to be able to be cleaned. There is never going to be able to be a way to clean these vents. He's pushing the meats into all fucking places to hide it, to stink up. Basically, he's going to stink up this place forever once he's gone. Once he's forced out, his whole goal, his entire goal is total destruction of this place. Total, get the smells out, make the whole place stink. And he does a pretty goddamn good job at it. And I was like, if I, not only should I never rent to this man, I need to like never rent anything in like a 12-block radius where this guy has ever lived, because this is all a scorched earth policy. And it was, anyway. John Araki gifted 5 memberships while I was rambling away. Thank you so much, John Araki. The lovely Sherry was gifted a membership. Keely Chow was gifted a membership. Hemorrhoids Hurts was gifted a membership. Scotty R37 was gifted a membership. And Springtime was gifted a membership by John Araki. JP's said meow, but I'm sorry, JP's. Doesn't look like there was a membership there for you. Jeff V says Qapla Bird. Yvette, JP's, Josh, Dan, LDG, Arabic, Mike, 47, and Gorilla. Pleasant Valley Picker, Canada, says Happy Canada Day, Qapla. Canada Day. Yes, Happy Canada Day. Pleasant Valley Picker. I will sing shortly. JP says LDG, mental age 12, physical age 82. Jeff B says hail, PvP. Sport of Poopus Cuber says hello humans and other critters. Hello, sort of Poopus. Good to see you. Pleasant Valley Picker Canada says hey to Jeff. JP says screw Canada Day. It's raining all day. I'm sorry. It's raining for you. Sort of Poopus says hello, Qapla. Hello, sort of Poopus. Miss Lundell's Groovy Movies says Qapla, Qapla. Mr. Lundell. Stan Lee says LDG said he had to delay till July 30th, so I circled Halloween on my calendar. Yes. LDG, he had a very important video due out on June 30th. He unfortunately, but not perhaps surprisingly, could not make it. And so he has pushed back till July 30th. Although I thought he'd pushed back second month, but he's 1 month maybe. So we'll see. We'll see if he can be back for July 30th or 31st and see if there is indeed any updates from him. Because remember, this video is really just a video about an update to a video that's coming. The real video is coming soon, supposedly. Stan Lee says, high gain. Okay, so I guess, high gain. Yes, maximum amplification, high gain. That's what it's called on the microphone. Thank you, Stan Lee. Hakeem says, hey, Snorter Poopus. And Jeff B. hails Mr. Londell. Snorter Poopus says, hello to Hakeem. Gorilla's Random Thoughts says they are just trying to piss us off. Like, seriously. Wesley out of how many could they bring in? Like, seriously, Weasley out of how many they could have bring in. JP says, you have to sing about seal bonking. Always liked the South Park Canada song. Cancel Canada with their hockey hoop balloon and their bitch I'm married to. Blame Canada. Blame Canada. You know, I remember the summer that I saw South Park, the movie. I saw it in Baltimore, of all places, that summer. I was with a friend who lived in Baltimore. I was getting my chance to ride through someone else's fallen, dirty, shitty city. He knew. I mean, where he lived was fine, but when we went out, he was okay with taking me to the actual some of the more authentic places in Baltimore, things you probably, not everybody would. I didn't want to go there. Don't get me wrong. Not like I said, hey, let's go down to the places with the nonsense, but being I did actually grow up in Brooklyn and I wasn't scared per se. Maybe I should have been. I probably should have been, but as somebody who grew up in Canarsie, and not like Canarsie was all that dangerous a place, but at the time, for somebody who was going to school in a well-to-do off Long Island suburb with mostly well-to-do off well-to-do off people who were either, if they weren't from Long Island, they were probably from somewhere else, but they tended to, they weren't poor. It was very hard to attend Hofstra as a poor student. I was literally the poorest person in my engineering class. And that was because, I only had a 50% scholarship because, well, I only had a 50% scholarship because the 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 scholarship for being really smart, the that was only a 50% scholarship. Yeah. If I was coming on a sport, and they asked, they did ask. I mean, I was the size, I was the right size and shape to be playing sports. And if I could, even with my debilitating skin color, if I was willing to go the sports route, I could probably have gotten a free ride. But it was not going to happen because holy shit, what would have happened if I got sick, if I broke my back or something playing college sports? Oh my, oh my. But in all honesty, no, I mean, it would have ruined my life. I mean, I could have ended up bedbound. But I would have ended up bedbound before I had the decade or so of amazements and, the decade of my job and working and bringing in money and just all that happened after that. I mean, who knows? I mean, if I was a good sports player, then I might have made a hell of a lot more money on sports. But for people with my brain, it rarely works out that we do well in sports. What were we talking about? Oh yes, the Canada song. Blame Canada. The hockey blue. Anyway, yeah, it was a really unusual summer. Like I was like, okay, South Park the movie. Who the fuck knew the goddamn turned out to be a fucking musical? I just thought this was going to be a really good South Park episode. Instead, the fucking movie is like 98% musical. And I was like, that was crazy. Crazy that these guys could put together these songs that are just fucking F-bombs and curse words. Uncle fucker. Uncle fucker. That was the name of a fucking song in South. Every song more offensive than the next. And Cartman and Kyle's mom song. And then he finally does it. They're going all through the fucking world. All through the world. And then he just turns around. Like, she's behind me, isn't she? Mama Frey, could you pull this hose and give it to me? Gorilla's Random Thoughts says, hey to Jeff. The lovely Sherry says, Qapla. Qapla to the lovely Sherry. Captain Fandom Nerd says, hello. Hey, Captain. Was that you again on Friday in Doomcock stream? Did you again request some songs for me and Mama Frey? If it was you, thank you so much. If it wasn't you,
Thank you.
thank you anyway. I don't know who to thank. I had just woken up from a nap, and Doomcock was talking about me, and somebody had said to him that I, because of my stream on Friday, where I was basically crying that I was dying, and yeah, Doomcock said, "Oh, Joe should have reached out," and I have spoken to Doomcock before via email, and there's that I know a lot of people don't give the man a lot of credit, but he really does. He really does go far and beyond. Takes that extra step to talk to people, to try to remember what's going on in people's lives, and he's a good man. Let's put it that way. He is a good man. I, he 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 literally says, like, he wants Friday night, Alex, to be a happy place, And that's the exact opposite of the whole, anti or the whole stay angry, and the whole opposite of stay angry. But it's a different thing, man. It's a whole different thing. Just watch. Just come in and enjoy yourself. Gorilla says they're just trying to piss us off. Like, seriously, weaseling out of how many they could bring in. Oh, I think I already read that. Yeah. 47 Yorktown says, you mean the fork song to JP? A lovely Sherry says, hey to Captain, fandom nerd, and snort of poop is Q. JP says, I miss the early days of YouTube where anything went. Yeah, that's it. In olden days, the glimpse of stocking was looked on as something shocking. But heaven knows, anything goes. No, that's today. No, never mind that. But yeah, in the olden days of YouTube, I had a friend, an online friend, a forum friend, who used to, he put up a video. He was on his motorcycle. He had a helmet cam back in the early days when not everybody had helmet cams on 24/7. And he came out. It was going up like a mountain road. He came over, and like right past a blind spot, all of a sudden this giant truck appeared like right in front of him, and he would just inches maybe to spare turned in and saved his life, prevented a crash, and it was all over with in 5 seconds. But it was a crazy 5 seconds that for 4.5 seconds you were looking at a head-on fatal collision, and just in the nick of time he managed to get out of the way and save himself, save the other guy. Although it was a motorcycle versus a truck, so let's face it, it was only himself that he was really saving, and it was saving the truck from having to clean up after a collision, perhaps, if the guy even noticed, and if he had stopped. The only thing he would have had to do was rinse this guy off of his truck. But no, he made it, and he's just like he titled it something like "Asshole Truck" or something like that. Just that, this asshole truck, and for months, he got millions of views. He was showing us he was making $900 a month, $800 or $900 a month off of this one video for months at a time. I mean, we were 2 or 3 years in, and he was still making $600 or $700 a month off of this video. And like we're talking amongst ourselves, like, I guess the way to YouTube is basically just get a video that title it well. Everybody was starting to title everything like "idiot this" or "stupid that," and we just thought, we get one, and you got fucking somebody paying your mortgage, or half your mortgage, or your total mortgage, depending where you live, for free. It was like amazing. It was amazing. And I mean, not me. My mortgage in New York City was unfortunately several times that. But for most people back in the day, yeah, all your mortgage was only a few $100s. Mhm. Mhm. And yes, it was called the partner program, right? That's what they bring you into, the partner program. Jeff B says, "Hail to Captain and to Sherry." The lovely Sherry says, "Greetings to Jeff." John Araki says, "Remember to subscribe, ring that bell, and hawk tush that like button so Bird can be famouser." Thank you. Thank you, John. Arabic Santa says, "Yolan True," the lovely Sherry. Captain Phantom Nerd also says, "Hey" to the lovely Sherry. JP's says, "Oh wow, Bird doesn't like us white trash." JP's, let me tell you, you are not white trash. You are a civilized gentleman compared to this guy. Okay. The lovely Sherry says, "Hi, Arabic Sonder." And there was John Araki's 5 gifted memberships I called out earlier. Thank you again. Thank you again, John Araki. JP says, "Meow." Sort of Poopus says hello to the lovely Sherry. Gorilla's Random Thoughts says, these Canadians sure are uppity today." What you talking about, Gorilla? Says Pleasant Valley Pickup, Canada. The lovely Sherry says, "Hello, Uncle Burr." Pleasant Valley Pigger says, "That redneck sounds like the neighbor from hell." I'm sure he was. Mikey Sue's 4 says, yeah, we're uppity northern residents today, and we've got fireworks. Lol. Fireworks. Fireworks. The lovely Sherry says, I'm currently in Green Acres Mall. Holy shit, lovely Sherry. What are you doing over there? Why would you need to go to Green Acres Mall? Oh God. When I used to have to go to the mall, I would go over to Roosevelt Field. I mean, that was I'm assuming Roosevelt Field is still there, but when I could go to malls, Roosevelt Field was the mall of choice. And when I was living in Brooklyn, the mall of choice was, of course, Kings Plaza. Kings Plaza. I don't know if you're familiar with Kings Plaza these days, but I laughed my ass off when I took my privileged, and we didn't have that word. We didn't have that word yet in college, but clearly privileged would have been a word to be used. And it would just, I laughed my ass off. These people afraid to walk around the Kings Plaza Mall. At the time, we'd still been going there pretty regularly. It was the place that had all, my childhood happened in Kings Plaza Mall. It was where I would buy all the video games I ever bought for my video game systems. Pretty much almost all the computer software I'd buy, minus maybe I would get like an operating system or something from Staples, but any games, they all came from Software, etc., or Electronics Boutique in the mall, and yeah. Later on, then there was like a let's see, a comp USA, but that was later when I got to college. When I was still in school, high school and below, yeah, it was all pretty much coming from the mall. There was one time we bought, it was basically my very first IBM compatible computer. After I left Commodore. I left the Commodores. I had to upgrade. And I wrote to Apple asking them to sponsor me. I was a poor New York City student, and I needed a computer, and they were like, fuck off. Yeah, it's unfortunate that everybody has to pay, that they do donate all their they donate so many computers, but of course they donate it directly to the schools and not to people like me who needed it So they would basically, go eat a dick. Okay. Okay, well, that's what you got to say about it. And for 20 years, maybe even longer, I still don't like Apple. I still don't like Apple. Yeah. I don't know. I think they made the wrong choice, but who knows? So anyway, so yeah, we bought from this really sketchy in hindsight, local place. Mama Frey found it in like the newspaper, I guess. And, huh?
The Home Depot?
No, Mama Frey. No, way before. Back in, I don't know, I guess the 90s. The first, the 486 DX2 processor, 50 megahertz computer you bought me. From No, not the Apple 2GS. After the Apple, the first IBM, I guess it was the beginning of high school. It was this sketchy computer place on, I think, Flatlands Avenue. Yeah. The guy there, he was like, oh, we sell everything, naked women. He's like, I'll get you, I can sell you CDs with naked women or something. I mean, he was saying this in front of you. And, I was clearly a teenage boy. Naked women. Of course, I didn't need naked women from my computer because I already had them coming from the cable box that was completely pirated and able to get multiple channels of but what I say, had it been anybody else, I'm sure he would have had a customer. John Araki gifted 5 more memberships. Oh my. Thank you so much, John Araki. And John Araki with another 99-cent super poop super sticker. It's a fake. But these 5 memberships are not. And Sentai Ranger Donnie # Save the Power Rangers was gifted a membership. And Greedia was gifted a membership. DJ Ronnie G was gifted a membership. Uncle Remus was gifted a membership. And Positive Candor was gifted a membership. All by John Araki. Thank you so much. Stanley says a DX2 66 with math coprocessor. Yes, except I had the DX, not a DX2, just a DX 50 megahertz. Yeah. And it says, oh, Bird got a 486 fancy pants. Yeah, well, the 386 at the time was just getting old. So the 486, the most common was the 486 DX 66, but I could only get, I got the DX 50. I forgot what the difference between the DX2 and the regular DX was, but surprise, surprise, I think the regular DX was the better chip. The DX2 was like a fake chip. I don't know, a pretend chip. But anyway, we'll, we'll get back to there in a minute. Snortopupus is snuffling. Mikey Sue says hello to Sherry. And Green Acres is the place to be. Green Acres is the place to be. City life. For me, I forget how the words go. You are my wife. Goodbye, city life. Stan Lee says Vertebrae 5. I guess saving the world just takes more time than estimated. I guess so. LDG says Judgment Day, August 29th. JP says at which time it will be then pushed back again. Mikey Sue says happy Canada Day. Qapla. Qapla, Mikey Sue. Arabic Saunders says hey to Jeff. Jeff says hey to Mikey. Lovely Sherry says hello to LDG. Everybody's talking to everybody. Everybody's talking to everybody. JP says the questionable and scuzzy areas of Baltimore. Oh, you mean the whole city? I'm just saying that we pulled up outside a what appeared to be a abandoned building with wood over the doors and the windows, plywood over the doors and the windows, and just spray painted on the door was Homeboy juice, $5. $5 and an arrow. Okay. So you go to get your Homeboy juice for $5. I don't know what Homeboy juice is, and I really don't want to know. Jeff B says, Balmer, as us locals call Baltimore. Yeah, it's safer 10 miles out, though. Mikey Seuss is just for lurking around, Bird and fellow chatters. Seriously, I need sleepy time. No worries, Mikey Seuss. Get some rest. Hope you have a good stream. Thank you, Mikey. JP says, you could have played football. You don't have to be a rocket scientist for that. Yeah, and they kept trying. They kept trying. There was that guy, that poor guy at Electronics Boutique in the mall. He'd beg Mama Pray. He's like, please just let me take him. Let me take him for calves. All they do are calves. I had fucking calves, like fucking tree trunks. Oh my God. It was, I mean, unreal how much muscle I used to carry on this body. Anyone else, probably that's why they probably would have died. I had so much muscle on this body that it ate itself away for for months and months and months. But I used to be able to just, I mean, I was 300 plus pounds. I could just get up on top of a fucking, I would pick myself up with my arms and just sit my ass on something that was the height of my chest. And I would walk, I mean, every day except weekends. You know, I would be walking up the steps at my schools. And, you know, by high school, we're talking 4-story. The science rooms were always on the 4th floor. So I would be coming in every morning, going right up to the 4th floor, starting my day there, and then, you know, go down to the 1st floor for lunch, have to come back up. Any type of snack I wanted, I had to go down to the 1st floor to get that. That's where all the food was. Got to come back up, right up to the 4th floor. And I didn't have a fucking locker because of, you know, super overcrowding and complete lack of lockers. The locker to student ratio was like, you know, 20 to 1. And I was literally carrying probably 50 plus pounds. Again, for somebody like me, I carried every textbook, every notebook, and God knows what else, every fucking day to school. I couldn't leave anything behind. So I used to carry so much weight, and I was going up and down the steps, and I mean, oh my God, it boggles the mind that I was doing that stuff. Oh, so much every fucking day. You know, it's all wasted. It's all for what? Snorer the Poopus says, did someone say sleep? Jeff B says the famous Phillips Seafood Restaurant in downtown Baltimore sells only aesthetic blue crabs. Yeah. JP says also, if you came from the right family name, you would have got everything free and got away with murder as well. Gorilla says world. Stanley says, had they never made Book of Mormon available to see anywhere outside the live play theaters. I know they finally produced a professional recording of Hamilton that was on Disney Plus. As far as I know, there is nothing with the Book of Mormon. Stanley says, just wish they'd do the same with the Book of Mormon. That's what I'm saying. I have not seen the Book of Mormon, although I'll probably find it funny. No disrespect to the Mormons out there, who honestly, I have deep respect for the Mormon religion, at least what I can see about it today. And I say that on the fact that I value, I can see that there's value to the religion by the fact that the members, and maybe it's a lie, but from what I can see, the members seem to take good care of themselves. They seem to keep their families together. And families in need can often find the help they need. I thought that was just great. That was just great. And, I'm sure it's not. I'm sure it's probably not as clean as it makes it out to be, but they're doing a good job, at least making it look like they take care of each other. And I do know that they encourage members to keep up on supplies, like stock, keep things well stocked, which is good. Ron will pray. No worries. When you can pull hose again. Gorilla's Random Thoughts says, hey to Mikey. Vic Saunders says the fireworks have already begun here in Denver. And that's awesome. Wait. That's for America's centennial. America's Independence Day.
It just started now. Been going off here for a month.
Yeah, we've had our fireworks going off here for quite some time. Okay, we're talking about the PC processor. JP says, I think I got my first PC in like 88 or 90, and it was an 8086. Did it have a turbo button? Yes, it did, JP. Yes, it did. And JP says, I would ask, who's the homeboy it's coming from? Oh God. I don't think I would ever ask that, JPs, because they might show me. They might show me. Yeah. I really don't want to know. Mike Richards at Fang Fang will tell you what homeboy juice is. JP says, and seniors probably got the first picks of lockers. Yeah, probably. Although actually, it used to be more like political. There was the one locker I always wanted was the closest one to the entrance where I'd come in, and unfortunately, that very first line of lockers right inside the school, general, like I don't know, like the auditorium or whatever. not really an auditorium, but just a general. And the problem is the main entrance to the school was not the entrance that was open in the morning when we would come into school. We'd come in and to what was basically the holding area of our auditorium. Anyway, off to the side was what we called the music hallway. And all the music classes and all the music teachers had their offices along this hallway. So it was basically the hallway for the pot smokers and the burnouts and all those people. Not particularly my crowd, but they had the very closest locker to where I entered the building. And my engineering brain decided that if I could obtain a locker in this music hallway, that would actually be worthwhile. It would be I'd have to go into the building and then come back out, not really out, but I'd have to go in further, then come back out to go back up the stairs to my, science classes and stuff, because I made my base of operation in high school. I mean, I was still a nerd. So my base of operations in high school was the science offices. I would hang out with the science teachers because clearly in high school, the coolest people in the fucking school are the science teachers. That's, I was young Sheldon. Yeah, that in that respect, except, I mean, he was in college. I was in high school, but I would hang out with the high school science teacher. I thought that was, that just seemed like the most normal thing to do. So I thought, okay, so if I got this first floor locker, then I could keep my books at school and I would just take the ones I needed for that day. And then I'd come back down and put them all back into my backpack and then take the backpack onto the bus and it would work. It would work. Unfortunately, the 1 year I did manage to use my superior brain, and by brain I meant notice that Mamo Gray, who was the head of the PTA or something, president of the PTA, had access to the school a day before the students did. And I was able to get in and get myself that locker before anyone else. And so I don't know, I wasn't there, but whoever was the first one to rush in to that music hallway to get that number one super locker position, I could only imagine the look on their face when they'd get there and their locker wasn't there. Well, let me tell you, what I did not count on was the fact that I would have to eventually open the locker. And then people would be looking at me and their fucking cold, dead eyes. You could see their brains were dying. They were scary. They were like fucking zombies. You know, like, oh my God, they're just looking at me, sitting like, what the fuck? Who is he? How is he getting? Oh my God. And I was like, and was like, oh, you know what? Huh. I think this was a mistake. And I disconnected the lock and I left and I never went back. Yeah. So somebody got that locker after me, after I realized that was a mistake. And yeah. Whoopsie. Wasn't one of my best plans. Mike Richards says, tall words, proudly saying every fucking day. Eric Sander is lolling at Mike Richards. JP says it wasn't wasted, Bird. You experienced far more than a lot of us have. That's true. Thank you. Thank you for the reminder. Mike Richards says Bird just wants a legal harem. And JP says, who doesn't? Substance D says Qapla. Qapla, Substance D. JP says, yeah, science teachers were cool. Then they would teach you how to blow stuff up. And the auto teachers were cool. And the machinist teacher was cool. And the gym teacher was cool. Oh, not the gym teachers. Well, not the gym teachers in high school. They were not particularly cool. They're the type that well, I don't know. They are. It's quite a progressive, and they were perhaps the most progressive. Gorilla says we were assigned lockers. School had the combo for the lock. No, we had to come with our own lock. We had to come with our own locks, and school didn't have any combo. If the school wanted in your locker, they just sent over the school security with with the lock clip. I used to see her every day. Every day. It was this short woman. She was a short woman, and the locker clipper were like half her height. But it was fine. She would go up and she would cut right through. It would take 2 seconds. 2 seconds, she'd cut right through a master lock, and that was it. Easy peasy. Easy peasy. I messed up my first day of school, of high school. And, I was hanging out science room with another kid. And he's like, he just seemed to know what he was doing. So I assumed he was like at least a sophomore or a junior, and he knew what we were doing. And like during lunch, we were fucking burning chemicals and shit in the science lab. And I didn't find out until later that day. He was also a freshman. Like, holy shit! I mean, you're a freshman. I was like in awe. I was fucking learning. I was like ready to model my entire life after this guy. He clearly knew what he was doing. And we're like, oh shit, we got chemicals going. Oh yeah, yeah. This is it. This is like, I mean, you understand, New York City schools, they were built in the 60s, but being run in the 90s, like they didn't run anymore. Like they were built with showers in gymnasiums, but by the 90s, you weren't allowed to shower in school. There was no showers in school. You couldn't shower. They were built with Bunsen burners for every desk. Every desk in the science lab had a gas and a hookup for a Bunsen burner. But by the 90s, nobody could afford Bunsen burners. Everybody got shitty oil, fucking kerosene wick burner. Yeah, there was no gas. Yeah, you had the gas. Yeah, you had the Bunsen burners. You had the same school, but they didn't have Bunsen burners anymore. The gas hookup was disconnected because, fucking kids would keep the fucking gas running, and they'd fucking blow up the school. They would blow up the school if they could. JP's is Lowell School Security. Wow. Mike Richards is those who can do, those who can't teach, and those who can't teach Jim. Woody Allen. Yeah. Lalo praise laugh. JP says the janitor did that at our high school. Cody Guy says Happy Canada Day. Happy Canada Day, Cody Guy. Gorilla's Random Thought says they did locker search periodically. Then they would be buying me a new lock, says Gorilla. Yeah, well, not necessarily the way things work. JP says gym in high school was great because the teacher knew I played hockey and baseball and used the gym at school. And in my high school, we still had the Bunsen burners. The gas shutoff was located in the teacher's office. And we were all showed where and how to shut it off. Well, that's cool. Not us. Bradley Briggs says my junior high school was old like the lockers, without locks, built-in Bunsen burners in science class, walkways not wide enough for all the kids who went to it. Arabic Sana says, how can someone teach something they can't do? Well, you'd be surprised. You'd be surprised. But let me tell you another thing about New York City schools. They didn't have, when I was going to school, public school, the bathrooms, the stalls had no doors. The stalls had no fucking doors. You were expected to take a shit like you're fucking in prison, in fucking view of anyone else. Anyone else going into that bathroom. So you know how many people ever took shit in school? Fuck if I know, because I never did. And if you did have to actually take a shit in school, you'd go to the fucking school nurse. The school nurse had the one bathroom in the entire fucking school for students, where a student could go and have privacy using the bathroom. One bathroom for hundreds, thousands of students. Not hundred thousands, hundreds or even thousands of students.
The school nurse in junior high was one of your best friends.
Right. Well, the school nurse, in junior high, I was there every day. Every day. Yeah, in elementary school, in junior high, it wasn't until the very ending of high school, my last year of high school, did somebody finally say, hey, we should fucking put the doors back. And they somehow they got funding to put fucking, it wasn't even the real doors, the metal doors that came from it. They decided they put back just some plywood doors to give a little bit of privacy. I mean, it was still like 2 inches of visible open space on either side, but it was a lot better than fucking nothing. Oh my God. Who decided to take this stuff out? And then I guess they say, well, it's a hell of a lot more cleaner. Nobody's going in the stalls and smoking, right? That's I guess people were smoking in the stalls. So they're like, oh no. Bradley Briggs says, my junior high school was old like that, lockers without locks, built-in burners in science class, walk away. For the kids who went to it. Arabic Sanders says, how can one teach without something they can't do? Mike Richards says, Arabic Sander, poorly. JP says, our school had shit tickets for toilet paper. Arabic Sanders says, good point to Mike Richards. And Arabic Sanders says, so all teachers teach poorly. Well, if on in baseball and Deep Space Nine, as Captain Sisko pointed out to Miles O'Brien, those who can't play coach. Those who can't play coach. So, JP's says my friend's dad was the auto shop teacher for like 10 years, and he never had a teaching degree, but he was a mechanic before teaching. He clearly knew what he was doing. And JP says smoking in the shitter was lame because it's not like you couldn't tell because of the smoke. And Gorilla says, they tore my school down last summer. I'm sorry, Gorilla. Unless you wanted them to tear it down. Maybe that was a positive thing. Bradley Briggs says the first school ever built in my town still stands to this day, but it's only like 50 feet by 50 feet, old wooden building. Sorry. I guess that's interesting. So that's cool. Okay. Well, it is Canada Day. So let's say this is ode to you guys. Oh, Canada. Here it is. English. No, I don't want the updated. Okay. Oh, Canada, our home and native land. True patriot love in all thy sons command. With glowing hearts we see the rise, the true North strong and free. From far and wide, O Canada, we stand on guard for thee. God keep our land glorious and free. O Canada, we stand on guard for thee. We stand on guard for thee. Qapla, Canada. Qapla, Canada. Your ears are bleeding. Good. Good. That's take the mekhleth out of your ears. Take the mekhleth out of your ears. You're welcome. You're welcome. Okay. It is time for July holidays. International Joke Day. Today, July 1st, International Joke Day. It's also American Zoo Day, a bank employee day in Guatemala. Canada Day. Canada Day. It's Caribbean Community Day. It's CPC Founding Day. It's Doctors Day in India. It's Doghouse Repair Month. Dogs in. Dogs in. Early Bird Day. Early bird gets the worm, but the second mouse gets the cheese. Yes, I learned that from you guys. I think. I don't know. I knew it. I guess I learned it on the internet. Let's put it that way. Ghana's Republic Day, Heroes Day of Zambia, Hong Kong Special Administrative, blah, 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 blah. It's International Chicken Wings Day. These are some ugly ass chicken wings. These are terrible looking chicken wings. I thought they were covered. I thought they were covered insects. I was like, what the fuck? International Reggae Day. A whole bunch of ones I can't pronounce. It's Mother's Day in the South Sudan. National Baby-Led Weaning Day. Celebrate National Baby-Led Weaning Day by learning about infant feeding and development. That's not an infant. And okay. National Creative Ice Cream Flavors Day. Celebrate the different and create flavors available for everyone's most beloved dessert. National Financial Freedom Day. Join us as we learn about financial freedom this Financial Freedom Day. And see William Wallace from Braveheart saying, freedom! National Ginger Snap Day. Beat your hunger pangs. Beat your hunger pangs with this delicious treat on National Ginger Snap Day. National Postal Workers Day. You've got mail. Now it's time to thank the people responsible for that. 60 fucking 8 cents, 68 cents to get stamps. Oh my God. Remember when I was going to, I remember it was elementary school, because I used to mail shit. I used to mail things. I worked in the office. So I used to go out and put stuff in the mailbox in front of the school. And I remember that the stamps were 25 cents. It was the first class mail. It was 25 cents. And that should have been the set price till today. It should still be 25 cents. And if you don't have a stamp, you're able to fucking tape a quarter. Tape a fucking quarter right to the letter. And the post office should have to deal with converting it to a stamp. Maybe a quarter and a penny. And that's why they keep the penny for the stamp. And that's it. That's anyway. It's National U.S. Postage Stamp Day, in addition to Postal Workers Day. Funny how that works out. It's the second half. It's the second half of the year. July 1st, the second half of the year. Yes, half the year is down. 50% done. Ronald Prey just got depressed. Singapore Armed Forces Day. Smart Irrigation Month. Territory Day. Virgin Islands Day. Wrong Trousers Day. And finally, Zip Code Day. Let's appreciate the system that ensures our mail gets delivered to the correct location. Whole lot of mail related holidays today. Anyway. Arabic Saunders is now they get caught vaping in the bathrooms. Shake that. JP says, hell, it's vaping. It should be allowed. I agree. Why? The whole point of vaping, it seems fine. Bradley Briggs says vaping is great. All that oil is just filling your lungs up, filling 10 times faster than normal smoking would. I don't know if that's true. Like, is it? Or is it just what they want us to believe? Um, JP says F the updated bullshit national anthem. Gorilla's random thoughts is Benedict Byrd sing another country's anthem. Dr. Scotty says my ears are bleeding. No, Gorilla, it's got to be Canada because it's Canada Day. JP says shut up and let's see some goddamn respect. Mike Richards says international incident in 3, 2, 1. Arabic Saunders is breaking news. Canada has officially declared war on Karoga. Source Mike Richards. Bradley Briggs says, so long as we make fun of the country and not the people living there, it's okay. It's just a joke. Arabic Saunders says, lol, those chicken wings did look like caramel dip roaches. They did. I was like, oh my God. Like, what is this? Eat bug day? And I was like, what? Chicken wings? Chicken wings? Those aren't. I didn't eat those fucking chicken wings. Somebody told me that was a chicken wing. I said, yeah. How many eyes does a chicken wing have? JP says, how many times has Bird said freedom? Lol. Keely Chow says, hey, everybody, what's going on? Qapla Keely. JP says, lol, mail service for 6 days a week. What do you expect with government unions? Keely Chow says, thank you for the gifted membership. So thank John Araki. Arabic Saunders says, yes, but some of them have THC vapes. Oh, yeah. Kronos. Qapla Kronos. Says Qapla. Kronos says Qapla Bird. And all. Am I late? And Kronos waves to Mamo. And Mamo Bray is waving back at you, Kronos. Are you late? It depends. Basically, yes. Basically, yes. Okay, let's do a quick check of our top stories. Supreme Court sends Trump immunity cases back to lower court. No, I probably shouldn't have mentioned any names. YouTube does not like this. Mistrial and Karen retrial in killing of Boston's office of boyfriend. Yeah. There we go. Netflix just quietly dropped the most epic Star Trek season in years. That is Prodigy season 2. Screen Rant. One of Big Bang Theory's most hated episodes betrayed its main character. And you know what? I don't care. Need to be told at the door. Costco shopper fumes over new policy after being denied checkout, even with ... That's just clickbait. I was like, this, I'm not going to do it. Not going to do it. The Daily Hodl. Bitcoin prices. Some Pixel 6 owners say factory resets have bricked their phones. That's not good. That's not good. It looks like no Star Trek except the Netflix. I guess we'll check this Netflix. Let's see. Prodigy season 2 is the most epic Star Trek season in years. In Prodigy season 2, the cuts are deep and the scope is big, but paradoxically small. Even among the most diehard Star Trek fans, there's bound to be some part of the vast franchise that gets missed. With 13 films, various shorts, countless novels and comics, and 11 distinct TV series, and a 12th in production. Not knowing about every corner of the final frontier is understandable. But unlike a franchise like the MCU, Star Trek's different facets aren't as overly interconnected as one might think. Despite a perceived barrier to entry for some iterations, most Trek is fairly easy to drop into, as long as you're okay with just catching up as you go along. I don't know. In this contradictory manner, Star Trek Prodigy Season 2 might be the most welcoming set of new Star Trek episodes since Strange New Worlds Season 1. Although co-produced by Nickelodeon with the intention of being aimed at a younger audience, Prodigy Season 2 is as much for grown-ups, longtime Star Trek fans, as it is for children. With some astoundingly deep cuts to canon. Prodigy Season 2 accomplishes the stated goal for the entire series, to serve as an introduction to the general world of Trek, but to also be its own thing. With all 20 episodes of Prodigy Season 2 now on Netflix, any kind of person remotely interested in Star Trek can suddenly get a crash course in pretty much every flavor that Star Trek has to offer. Although the lens of a quirky, warm-hearted, epic new season. A fresh start. Back in 2021, Prodigy launched on Paramount Plus with a handful of episodes that began as a somewhat generic space adventure, featuring a crew of misfit alien tweens who, because they needed to escape from a forced labor camp in no way related to Karoga, steal a slick, abandoned Federation starship called the USS Protostar. Because of those early episodes found the kids in the distant Delta Quadrant, the crew only gradually started to encounter more and more familiar Star Trek-y things. By the end of the 20-episode run, Dal, Rock, Zero, Win, Shankam, and the adorable slime creature, Murph, all end up on Earth after saving Starfleet from near total destruction. Yes, like many Star Trek seasons, finales of late, Prodigy Season 1 ended with the big fleet locked in a big battle, but one turned out to be all right, mostly because the kids decided to sacrifice their adopted ship to save the day. That said, Season 2, you mostly don't need to know about any of that. Or to put it to another way, anything you missed in Season 1 or forgot about will be recapitulated another way. Anyway, in an old meta-textual move, the primary storyline of Prodigy Season 2 is all about a time paradox that might prevent our heroes from meeting in the first place. Therefore, the stakes of Prodigy Season 2 are on some level about making sure that Season 1 happens at all, which strangely matters less to your enjoyment of the new episodes than maybe it should. This gets even more meta when you consider that Prodigy fighting for its basic existence is also happening in real life. The show was removed from Paramount Plus last year. It has only found new life and home for Season 2 on Netflix very recently. But if you put all of that aside, and you probably should, what you find in Prodigy Season 2 is a surprising amount of variety packed into a big serialized arc. Unapologetic Star Trek hits. Although Prodigy Season 2 has a very large and interconnected arc, the 20-episode long run means it's capacious enough to have several stand-alone-ish episodes, many of which employ classic Star Trek tropes. Without spoiling any details, we get a mirror universe episode a Tribble episode, a doppelganger episode, a new Vulcan character, and even talking whales, the later of which are interestingly more than just an Easter egg. At George and Gracie's Descendants. Nice. Prodigy says, also features return of one major character from the Next Generation. Bullshit. Bullshit. He was never a major character. And Picard, in a role that is much larger than a cameo. This detail, revealed roughly midway through the season, makes perfect sense once it happens, both thematically and in the terms of the story. And once you're settled in for this ride, Prodigy Season 2 isn't shy about getting deep into the weeds of Trekkie canon, including a kata that ties directly into events from very recent other Star Trek series set around the same times. Right. So we know who that is. And no, sir, I don't like it. Yeah. Don't like it. Well, we'll see. We'll see. LDG says this is a BS article. Let's see. Chicken wing has two eyes, says Mike Richards. Har, 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 har. Arabic sounds as if it's probably an AI image of chicken wings. Probably. Bruno says, I don't wear Depends. Bruno says, I like my new computer. Bruno says, what is Prodigy Season 1? I guess that's a question. I don't know. I don't know if Prodigy Season 1 is on Netflix now or not. If they only did Prodigy Season 2 without Prodigy Season 1, then that's ridiculously stupid. Ridiculously stupid. Gorilla says, son of a bitch, it's raining again. Sorry to hear that. Gorilla says, hey to Kronos. Mike Richards says 50% of Starship explosions are attributed to methane buildup. Dang cow, says Gorilla says those kids in Prodigy need to learn how to concentrate. I'm sure there's a camp for that. Arabic Saunders says the EMH is in this season. That's not who they're talking about. Kronos says I could use a steak now. It's a steak, says Kronos. Arabic Saunders says Robert Picardo is my favorite Trek doctor. Kronos says Joe. Mike Richards says, are whale steaks better than beagle bites? Kronos says beagle bites rock. Kronos says hey to Jay. Arabic says he's so funny, like dry comedy. Yeah. Captain Phantom Nerd. Captain Phantom Nerd says Arabic, I like the dry humor. Who will stop the rain? Says Kronos. Sentai Ranger Donnie. Hashtag save the Power Rangers. Says film that threat Film Threat Raid. Hello, Bird and all. Happy Canada Day. Hope everyone's final weekend of June was well. Thank you. Arabic Sanders says, yes, season 1 was on the list that Salty Tracker shared his screen. Show us the Wesley episode. Okay, well, at least we get season 1. Everybody whale steaks. No. Sentai Ranger Donnie says, to be honest, I'm so loving season 2 of Prodigy. It may be more sci-fi than Star Trek to some, but the show itself remains my #1 current Star Trek show. That's awesome. That's awesome to hear, Donnie. I guess something has to be the best one. Donnie says, speaking of, I thought I'd share my latest deviant art with you. And there's a link for people to click, which is awesome. Let me see if I can get it. I can get it to come up. Are you sure you want to? Yes. There you go. There you go. Very cool. Little Star Trek plus Canada Day. I love it. I like it. And the Protostar. Or whatever. I think that's the Protostar. Yeah. Sweet. Sweet, Donnie. Chrono 6 is whale steak, medium rare. And he doesn't like blubber. Nobody likes the blubber. Okay, so let's head over the Dear Bob. The Dear Bob. Dear Bob, a baby seal walks into a bar. The bartender says, "What can I get you?" The seal says, "Anything but a Canadian club on the rocks."
See.
I got it, Mom. Dear Bob, God here. Okay, look, Joe, I know you've been worrying about your health a lot lately, but you need to relax a bit. Seriously, I assure you, you're not going anywhere anytime soon. I've got big plans for you, and I can't have you checking out early. As far as your current challenges, it's all part of the plan. You will just have to trust me on that for now. You're exactly how you should be, where you should be, heading to where you need to be, and it could not happen any other way. Just a heads up, because I heard you were beating yourself up and figured you need to hear it from the source. Oh, and here is some really good to hear. And here's some really good advice. You do have some interesting friends. Use them. It's like it's almost Ferengi. Exploitation is like family. Starts at home. I appreciate people trying to make me feel better. But that all might be true, except for the fact that I could be here for a long time. I mean, it might be God's intent might be for me to only be here for a short amount of time. Who's to say? We don't know. We don't know. We don't know if there's air here. Dear Joe, we wondered where you were this weekend, as you usually join us at the New York Pride celebration. We missed you at the pee pool, your favorite thing at the event. Well, we hope you are doing okay and can make it next year. No, I'm not even going to read that. A pee pool, is that a real thing? Dear Bob, did you have a favorite Married with Children episode? Jedi Bill. Well, first, Jedi Bill doesn't exist anymore. So I know that this was not put in by Jedi Bill. Because it would be Outlaw Bill. Did I have a favorite? I probably did, but do I remember it now? No. No, I could think of it. Let's see. I mean, no. I guess I can't even think of one now. I could just think of a episode I remember, but that doesn't mean I liked it. Um, okay. So I'm just going to have to say no. I do not have a favorite Married with Children episode. Dear Bob, what is the proper name for your unit when in the presence of a female? Wiener, schlong, pee-pee, hot dog, Vienna sausage, or trouser snake? Thank you, Salty. Salty, you go with anyone you desire. It's all it's your call. It's your call. I feel weird. I feel weird that we're still having these conversations. I thought you would have gotten over it a long time ago. Arabic Sander says, here's what I mean. A link to something in Google. Oh, Donnie says to Arabic. There's a link. Chrono says, what is God's email? Probably god@gmail.com, I guess. Chrono says love and marriage. Yes. My favorite episode is the Frank Sinatra song, Love and Marriage, that opens every episode of Married with Children. I like the episodes where they would have their no man meetings in the garage. Yes, it's Gmail. Obviously, God's going to have the best email, so he's going to have Gmail. Unless it's god@god.com. But that's a lot of gods. Dear Bob, just wondering if you may know the whereabouts of a guy named Deej. We have important paperwork to deliver to him. Clayton County, Iowa Sheriff's Department. I am not aware of Deej, of a man named Deej. And if I did know, he would already be paying, he'd already be paying for children. Server error, bad gateway. Dear Bob, to answer this day's Wordle is a 5-letter word and starts with a letter. Indeed. Just wondering, dear Bob. First one, they said it's a 5-letter word that starts with a letter. Dear Bob, just wondering, when we'll update your merch and have those bird G-strings again? I hope you'll make them pink or purple. I'll be buying several, one for each day. Thank you, LDG. We all know it's not LDG. Thank you, though, for this terrible picture you put in my head of LDG wearing a bird G-string. Terrible, 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 terrible. LDG says God's email is every email. Chrono says he is everywhere. Geez. Dr. Scotty says I use the name Tube Snake for things in front of my female friends. They love that. Stanley says, Bird, wouldn't it be God@God.God? I guess so, but God, that final .God is not a recognized domain extension. So, Chrono says, hopefully you don't grill it. They season it, asks Chronos. That, if they season it, that's too much info. Too much info. But I think we're going to call it an evening there, guys. Thanks for hanging out. Qapla all. Bird needs to eat something. He is hungry. Hungry birds. Hungry bird. So, gonna go. And I'll talk to you soon. Qapla all.